And we are live. All right, everyone, welcome back to my channel, Baseball Talk with Nick Morgan. Today is Wednesday, August 19th, 2020, and the New York Yankees host the division rival Tampa Bay Rays. With Garrett Cole taking the mound this evening, the Yankees look to tie up the series at one game apiece. Tyler Glasnow will aim to earn his first win of the season as he is given the ball tonight as the Rays starter. Now, Tampa Bay is just 1.5 games back of the Yankees for first in the American League East going into this matchup. Now, we're going to look at Garrett Cole, who is looking to win his 21st consecutive regular season win. He has not gotten the loss in over 20 regular season games. So Garrett Cole, he's just been very good for the New York Yankees in his first year in pinstripes. 5 games, a 4-0 record, 2.76 ERA in 29 and a third innings pitched with 34 strikeouts and a 0.85 whip. Garrett Cole will be taking on the strong Tampa Bay Rays starting lineup 1-9 from top to bottom. The Rays are very good this year, threatening to go ahead and at least come after the Yankees for a little bit in time. They are a game and a half back, as I mentioned already, for first in the division. And the Rays have done very well against New York this season. I believe they are 4-1 up until this point. New York has not had much luck against their division rival opponents. So hopefully they can turn things around tonight. Now, Garrett Cole, again, 4-0 in just 5 games started this year. In 197 career games, he's 98-52 with a 3.21 ERA in 1,224 and a third innings pitched, racking up 1,370 strikeouts and earning a 1.12 whip. Garrett Cole is the $324 million man. He'll be with New York for the next 8 seasons after this. And coming off of a runner-up season in the American League Cy Young, he has looked very dominant to this point. Game number 6 for Garrett in just a few moments. Now let's take a look at the Tampa Bay Rays lineup from 1 to 9 here. Goodness, I can't talk. I'm so excited for this game. Garrett Cole on the mound. But leading off in left field, the left-handed batter, Austin Meadows, Yandy Diaz. Starting at the hot corner will bat second, Brandon Lau at second base batting third. And the designated hitter this afternoon will bat cleanup, Jose Martinez. G-Man Choi the switch hitting first base and batting fifth. Willie Adames batting sixth, starting at shortstop. Kevin Kiermaier in center field will bat seventh. Manuel Margot, the right-handed right fielder, batting eighth. And Mike Zunino, the backstop for the Tampa Bay Rays this evening, will bat ninth. So that is who Garrett Cole will be facing in these first few innings of play. The Tampa Bay Rays are 15-9. The New York Yankees 16-7. Game time should be just around 7:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Garrett Cole versus Tyler Glasnow, the Tampa Bay Rays starter today. Now, Tyler has pitched in 4 games, 0-1 record with a 7.04 ERA in 15 and a third innings with 27 strikeouts and a 1.76 whip. He has not looked too sharp on the mound yet this year, but he wants to turn things around with this start, at least get a quality start. 4 or 5 innings for Tampa Bay. Blake Snell dominated yesterday against New York, did give up a few runs, but the final score was 6-3 in Tampa's favor. They now lead the series 1-0. This is a best-of-3 matchup. It's game yesterday, today, and tomorrow for the New York Yankees and Tampa Bay Rays. And then as of Friday, the New York Yankees will play the Subway Series, New York Mets. And that'll be fun. Friday, Saturday, Sunday matchup there as well. And we are just under 25 games into the season. It is a shortened 60-game year for Major League Baseball, but an expanded postseason bracket. 16 teams, 8 from the American League, 8 from the National League. That's a little more than we're used to seeing. Usually it's 5 per league, and now with a little bit more, there's a lot more competition, a lot more room for some rivals to get in here. Now, Garrett Cole and Gary Sanchez have been in pretty good cahoots these last few games. Cole says he's getting used to Gary Sanchez behind the plate and that they're really coming to terms here. They're understanding each other. They know what they want to do, and they're being successful as the Yankees battery anytime Garrett Cole gets out there on the mound. Now, again, this is game 6 for Garrett. He is 4-0 with a 2.76 ERA. He'll take on Meadows, Diaz, Lau, Martinez, Choi, Adames, Kiermaier, Margot, and Zunino. We are just a few moments away from game time. And the New York Yankees, again, we're going to get into this a little bit later, but they are kind of trying to find out what lineup works best for them. Aaron Boone likes to kind of throw guys around, move them up and down throughout the order pretty consistently. And we are going to kind of talk about that again, a little more in-depth in the bottom of the first, going through the Yankees lineup. But we do see Aaron Hicks, Luke Voit, and Gio Urshela leading off that home half of the first when the time comes. Now, we're at the final commercial break before the first pitch of the ball game. Garrett Cole is warming up, and he made his debut back on June 11th, 2013. Now, this is going to be a fun matchup here because Tyler Glasnow and Garrett Cole were both we're both drafted by the Pirates. Garrett Cole in the first round, Tyler Glasnow in the fifth, in different years. But it's going to be cool. You have baby draft Tyler Glasnow on the mound, visiting with the Tampa Bay Rays. Garrett Cole taking on the Rays at home in the Bronx. Now, the Yankees earned their first loss at home this season yesterday against Tampa Bay, who just has been very, very good against New York. The Yankees have not been able to stop them in many cases. I believe only winning one game in the set so far. And, if you look at the Rays and Yankees matchups the entirety of this season. Austin Meadows is going to lead it off in the top of the first in 48 at-bats. He's hitting .271 with 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, 1 stolen base, and a .908 on-base plus slugging. So here we are, last couple seconds here before we get back to the Bronx and the first pitch of the ballgame gets underway. A lot to look forward to tonight if you're a Yankees fan or a Rays fan. It's very close in the division. The Rays a game and a half behind for first in the AL East, earning themselves that title. Now, as we're just under halfway through the season, it's still anyone's game. A bad streak with the New York Yankees could open up the doors for Tampa Bay to sneak in and win that number 1 spot in the division, or vice versa. The Yankees can maintain first in the AL East. If they just continue to go out and play their best game, the Tampa Bay Rays just cannot find their way through. Now, this is a very important series because games against division opponents are almost worth more than in previous seasons. They're kind of worth double just because in the sense where if the New York Yankees lose tonight, they don't only lose, but they give the Rays a win. And we've talked about that same concept before in other streams and other videos, but this would allow the Rays to get very close to the New York Yankees, just half a game back. And the Yankees really have to go ahead and at least win this game tonight. They want to try to win the series, but they cannot go 3-0 and get swept out from underneath by Tampa Bay. Now, Garrett Cole has been very dominant. His opponent batting average is only 189. He's given up 5 walks, 20 hits. I think he should be able to come in and shut down Tampa Bay. At least that's what I hope as a Yankees fan coming into tonight. But it's going to be a fun one. Garrett Cole on the mound. Austin Meadows is ready. Garrett Cole is ready. Let's get this game going. Home plate umpire says we're good to go. And the first pitch, number 45, is a fastball Austin Meadows puts into play, skies it to left field, and Brett Gardner will camp underneath it for the first out. So 1 pitch and 1 away for Garrett Cole. That fastball reached 96 miles per hour on the radar gun. He already looks to be very good. I'm sure that velocity will span somewhere between 96 and maybe 98 today, depending on how he is feeling on the mound. But that'll bring up now Yandy Diaz and Brandon Lau also expected up here in the top half of the first. Now, Yandy in just 77 at-bats is hitting .286 with 4 RBIs and a .727 OPS, still looking for his first home run. He'll see a strike at 94 from Garrett Cole, and he'll be down 0-1. He's appeared in 23 games prior to tonight's outing, and again, has collected himself a .286 batting average. A wave and a miss here will put him down 0-2 in the count. Fastball going to hit 94, so maybe we see Garrett Cole's fastball top at 96, 97 today, but it's also in the first inning. It's early on. He's ahead of the count 0-2 to Yandy Diaz. And the delivery here. Another fastball. So that's all 4 pitches Cole has thrown have been fastballs. This one's going to miss up and in for ball 1. Gary Sanchez behind the plate. Jansen Visconti, the home plate umpire, calling balls and strikes this afternoon. And this one's going to be fouled back. The count's going to remain 1 ball, 2 strikes. 5 pitches in for Garrett Cole. All fastballs at the moment. Doesn't want to tip his hand too early on. Off-speed pitch, Yandy Diaz puts it in play. Blaber Torres runs in and throws it over to Luke Voit in time to retire the Rays' third base, and that's a 6-3 putout, and that'll bring up Brandon Lau, who has been very good in 2020. 83 at-bats, but he's hitting .337 with 8 home runs, 23 RBIs, and a 1.168 OPS. He's a 26-year-old super utility man, can play infield and outfield. As we get his at-bat underway, let's take you through the New York Yankees defense. Behind the plate, Gary Sanchez, and on the mound is Garrett Cole. Gio Urshela at third, Glaber Torres at shortstop. The other middle infielder will be Thairo Estrada. Luke Voit at first base, and from left to right in the outfield, Brett Gardner, Aaron Hicks, and Clint Frazier. Mike Ford is your designated hitter, and it's an 0-1 count now to Lau. He's going to put this one into play, hit softly over to what would be shortstop, but because of the shift, third baseman Gio Urshela is there, and he will make the play. So that is a 5-3 putout, a 1-2-3 inning for Garrett Cole, and we're going to head to the bottom of the first. Now, Garrett Cole seemed to easily plow through the top third of the Rays lineup, getting Meadows down on the first pitch. He sees a fly out to left field. Yandy Diaz grounds out to short. Brandon Lau grounds out to third, and it's a very nice and easy outing for Garrett Cole on the top of the first. Now, as we look at the New York Yankees starting lineup this evening, it goes as follows. The switch-hitting center fielder Aaron Hicks will bat leadoff. Luke Voit starting at first base tonight, batting second. Gio Urshela at the hot corner, playing third base, batting third. Mike Ford, your left-handed batter, will clean up, batting DH. Glaber Torres batting fifth, starting at shortstop. Gary Sanchez behind the plate, batting sixth. Brett Gardner, the left-handed left fielder, will bat seventh. Clint Frazier, the right-handed right fielder, will bat eighth. And Thairo Estrada will bat ninth at second base today for New York. Now, the Yankees have been injury-prone if we look at their lineup and some of the big guys that they are missing so far in this season. Giancarlo Stanton is out, Aaron Judge is out, and DJ LeMahieu is out now for about 2 or 3 weeks, depending on how quick his recovery time is going to be. Now, Giancarlo Stanton is expected to miss about a month, and we are a week and a half or so into that time frame. So we hope to see him back within the next 3 weeks. And Aaron Judge is already taking batting practice, seeing some reps at the plate, and he should hopefully be ready to be activated Saturday, which is the earliest he can be taken off of the 10-day injured list. Now, Aroldis Chapman is back with the New York Yankees in the bullpen, one of the best in the league. He will be their closer, and he takes over that role. Zach Britton, though, before Aroldis Chapman came back, had 8 saves, which led the American League. Now, Chapman was a COVID-19 affected player. He missed the first few weeks of the season, and because of that, he made 1 appearance so far, and that was just a few nights ago. Tyler Glasnow, in 4 games pitched this year, is 0-1 with a 7.04 ERA and 15 1/3 innings pitched, with 27 strikeouts and a 1.76 whip. He's ready, and Aaron Hicks is ready, batting from the left side. The first pitch, 97-mile-per-hour fastball, up and away, ball 1. Now, Hicks in 59 at-bats is hitting .220 with 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, and an .810 OPS. Hicksy is somewhat sporadic when it comes to his production at the plate. 98-mile-per-hour fastball, he'll foul back and out of play. Counts going to be 1 ball and 1 strike. Now, I say that just because a .220 average, not bad whatsoever, especially early into the season. Still not even halfway done at the moment. But, you know, he's either really hot or just not really himself at the plate. Sometimes a mixture of both. But Aaron Hicks still, you know, when he's on point, when he is that Aaron Hicks that we all know and love, he can easily be a top 15 outfielder in the game, maybe top 10. I think that might be pushing a little bit. He's going to take ball 2-1 now. That's low. But Hicks is definitely a great Yankees outfielder. He was extended a few years back to a 7-year, $70 million contract, and he's going to line this one to left field. Austin Meadows will be there to make the out. Your Tampa Bay Rays defense is as follows. Austin Meadows out and left. He just made the play. Kevin Kiermaier in center and Manny Margot in right. G-Man Choi at first base. Brandon Lau at second. Yandy Diaz at third and Willy Adames at short. Mike Zunino behind the plate. Tyler Glasnow on the mound. And Jose Martinez, your designated hitter. Rays dominated the Yankees. Yes, they sure are. They have won the majority of the games so far against the New York Yankees this season. And it is a little scary going to the postseason because we don't know how the Yankees will perform against the divisional opponents here. Now, the Rays have a very nice lineup. Their rotation is one of the best in Major League Baseball, and they have a good bullpen as well. They're definitely a threat to any American League team, but if you're the New York Yankees, you might be a little bit scared, at least at the moment with the production or lack of production we have put up against the Rays. Now, Luke Voit finds himself in an 0-2 count as he waves and misses at a curveball. But he has hit 8 home runs, which ties for 4th in the American League. The 0-2 here with 1 away. Another curveball. This one going to miss it down. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now, Voit, 67 at-bats, hitting .284 with 8 home runs, 17 RBIs, and a 1.008 OPS. A guy that looks like the Cardinals almost gave up on before trading him over to New York. He has come over since and dominated at first base, has been one of our better overall players when healthy. Glasnow going to reach 98 miles per hour on the fastball, but it will miss wide and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the Yankees first baseman. Now, Luke Voit and Mike Ford, we see both of them in the lineup today, but Ford is going to be the cleanup batter and designated hitter. Both like to split time at first base. The curveball going to miss up and in. Luke Voit kind of ducks back from 0-2 to 3-2 count to the Yankees first baseman, but both Mike Ford and Luke Voit have put up some good production and good numbers at the plate so far this year. It is early on, but it's kind of weird saying, we're 22, 23, 24 games in a 60-game season, but we're early on this year. Now, the fastball, 99 miles per hour, is going to miss down from an 0-2 count to a walk, and Luke Voit will be standing on first. Tyler Glasnow allows his first base runner of the game. Clear skies and pleasant temperatures out in the Bronx today for this game against the Tampa Bay Rays and the New York Yankees. Gio Urshela will come up now with a runner on first, and the third baseman batting third tonight, but hitting .254 this season with 71 at-bats, 4 home runs, 15 RBIs, 1 stolen base, and an .820 OPS. Again, another guy that his former team kind of gave up on. The Toronto Blue Jays didn't really use him too much. He didn't get a lot of playing time over there for them. And when he did, he just didn't produce to the extent where he did last season with New York. Now, Gio is 28 years old. He's going to take a ball 1 here. And this fastball, he skies to the outfield. Kevin Kiermaier shades over to his left, and he will make the play. So it's a fly out to center for Gio Urshela. That'll be 2 outs and a runner on base for Mike Ford. Now, Ford is a former Princeton graduate, attended Princeton College, and is batting 4th tonight for the New York Yankees. He's hitting .194 with 2 home runs, 10 RBIs, and a .667 OPS. Now, he's come in clutch, and he's had some big games at the plate for New York. That batting average is a little bit low, but that's almost a metric that we're not really using a whole lot anymore. You do have your batting champs, but average is not everything as we see with modern-day baseball. Mike Ford is going to ground this one over to second base. Brandon Lau is going to be there with the shift. He'll make the throw over to first baseman Ji-Man Choi, and that will end the inning. So Ford, a ground out to second base. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left on base for the New York Yankees, and we will head to the top of the second. Martinez, Choi, and Adames will all be due up for the Tampa Bay Rays, who are hitless. Garrett Cole stands at 6'4" tall. He's 29 years old, and going into the season, signed a 9-year contract with the New York Yankees. He was Brian Cashman's white whale, signed for $324 million, and was possibly one of the most highly looked after free agents. Steven Strasburg was another pitcher on the market. So was Hyunjin Ryu, who did very well last year with the Los Angeles Dodgers, now a Toronto Blue Jay resident. Steven Strasburg re-signed with Washington Nationals, and Garrett Cole made his way over to the Houston Astros rival team, or not necessarily rival, but a big competitor in New York. Houston has not done very well this year Definitely struggling a bit. They are second in the AL West division, and their team is just not looking good. A lot of people can say that's kind of what they deserved after we found out about their big cheating scandal, which headlined Major League Baseball this past winter. Garrett Cole, though, nonetheless, pitched alongside Justin Verlander and Zach Greinke for one of the better rotations in Major League Baseball last year as a part of the Houston Astros. He retired the side in order 1, 2, and 3 in the top of the first, and now will face the designated hitter, first baseman, and shortstop for Tampa Bay tonight, here in the second. So it's going to be Jose Martinez, the right-handed hitting designated hitter for the Tampa Bay Rays, to lead things off. A .231 average with 2 home runs, a 7 RBIs, and a .737 OPS in 52 at-bats. The first pitch from Garrett Cole. Fastball up the middle. Blaber Torres is there. He'll make the throw over in time, and it's another ground out here. Blaber getting a lot of attention over there defensively. That's the second ball that he has handled and the second out that he has helped retire. Now, Cole only threw 8 pitches in the first inning, much like how he led off the away portion of the first. He gets a 1 pitch, 1 out opportunity here against Jose Martinez, and Ji-Man Choi will step in, the switch hitting first baseman, batting from the left side. In 21 games this year, he's hitting .169 with 1 home run, 7 RBIs, and a .574 OPS. Fastball up and away at 95 miles per hour, ball 1. Ji-Man Choi and Willy Adames are both due up here in the top of the second. And a nice off-speed pitch over the heart of the plate. Belt high, 1 ball, 1 strike. So Garrett Cole now wears number 45 for the New York Yankees, and previously that was Luke Voigt's number. This offseason, of course, he did switch to give Garrett Cole the number that he desired coming into his start with the New York Yankees. And now it's a 2-1 count as the fastball's going to miss outside. 2-1, 12 pitches, 1 1/3 innings completed for Garrett Cole. Ji-Man Choi lifts this one out to right field. Back at the wall is Clint Frazier, and it is gone. A solo home run for Ji-Man Choi. That is his second homer of the year, his 8th RBI, and the Rays strike first with the solo home run. Garrett Cole looked very good, was kind of blowing by these Rays batters, and then all of a sudden a mistake pitch of fastball left over the heart of the plate, and Ji-Man Choi batting from the left side gets every stitch of it. Looked like some 2-seam movement there maybe, and 101.4 mile per hour exit velo off the bat of the Rays first baseman. So it's 1-0 Tampa Bay here in the top of the second, and Willy Adames will foul back the first pitch he sees. The Rays shortstop is hitting .282 with 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, 1 stolen base, and an .877 OPS in 71 at-bats. He's 24 years old. His nickname is The Kid. And that one's going to miss down and away in the dirt for ball 1. So Garrett Cole gives up the first run of the ball game, the first hit of the ball game, and a 1-1 count now. The Rays lead 1-0 here in the top of the second. 1 away, Willy Adames will take a pitch, and that's going to be called strike 2. On deck is Kevin Kiermaier, who will see an at-bat this inning. The pitch from Garrett Cole. Called strike 3, 98 mile per hour fastball, and that is the first strikeout of the ball game. Got Willy Adames looking. I kind of hesitated there just because it took the home plate umpire a second to punch him out. I don't know if he was contemplating the call or if he was just, kind of taking his time with it, making it a little more dramatic. So either way, Kevin Kiermaier will step into the batter's box with 2 outs and 1 run already being plated for the Rays offense. He's going to take a 97 mile per hour fastball for strike 1. And Kiermaier debuted back on September 30th, 2013 with Tampa Bay and has been with the organization ever since. A big wave and miss here, fastball at 97, strike 2. Kiermaier hitting 250 with 9 RBIs, 4 stolen bases, and a 702 OPS through 64 at-bats. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. 3 pitches, 3 strikes to the center fielder, Garrett Cole. Strikes out the last 2 batters he sees here in the second inning, but not before the Tampa Bay Rays get a run on the board. A solo home run via G-Man Choi gets the scoring going here in this ballgame on August 19th, 2020. It's Tampa Bay Rays at the New York Yankees. Tampa Bay leads the series by a 1-0 lead. Margot, Zunino, and Meadows will all be due up in the top of the third. But if we look at the New York Yankees offense, due up here in the bottom of the second, Blaber, Torres, Gary Sanchez, and Brett Gardner. Now, you could say that all 3 of these guys have somewhat struggled through the first 23 games they have played. 16 wins, 7 losses. Blaber hitting 233, Gary a 138 batting average, and Brett Gardner hitting 167. That's approximately 1 hit in every 6 at-bats. But the 5, 6, 7 batters will all come up, hopefully trying to strike back and at least tie this ballgame up in the bottom of the second. It's going to be Blaber, Gary, Brett Gardner, and potentially Clint Frazier and Thairo Estrada if we get to that point in the lineup. 1-0 score going to the bottom of the second. Garrett Cole gives up the solo home run, and we're going to take you through the scores around the league here in Major League Baseball. The Blue Jays beat the Orioles by a score of 5-2. The Mets and Marlins are through half an inning with no score at the moment. The Cubs and the Cardinals are through 4. The Cubs have a 2-0 lead. The Indians and Pirates are scoreless through the first half of the first inning. The Royals and Reds are prepping for their second game in a doubleheader today. And the other scores from today, the Phillies dropped this game to the Red Sox by a score of 3-6. The Cardinals beat the Cubs in 7 innings, 9-3. The Royals beat the Reds 4-0 in 7 innings of game 1 of their doubleheader. And the Nationals and Braves game has been postponed. So here we are, Blaber, Torres versus Tyler Glasnow. 1 run on 1 hit and no errors for Tampa Bay. The Yankees still seeking their first hit of the ballgame. The first pitch to Blaber is a strike. And the curveball is down 1 ball and 1 strike to the Yankees shortstop. So out of Blaber and Gary, who are both off to notable slow starts for the New York Yankees offense, Blaber is doing better of the 2 now. A 233 average, 1 home run, 5 RBIs, a 642 OPS in 73 at-bats. But Gary Sanchez, the pop has been back in the bat recently. 5 home runs on the season. And this fastball is going to top off at 99 miles per hour from Glasnow. This one's just going to miss down and away. So it'll be a ball. And the 2-1 delivery now to number 25. Big wave and a miss fastball now at 98. Glasnow is a flamethrower. His fastball can kind of range anywhere from 97 to 99 on a good day, as we've seen consistently so far. The first 2 batters he's faced. The count's going to be even, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Blaber. And he'll foul this one back. A fastball right down the middle. He grounds it down the first base line, but foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes in the bottom of the second. Nobody on, nobody out. Glasnow nearing 20 pitches. In 83 career games, Tyler is 10-18 with a 4.65 ERA in 273 innings with 319 strikeouts and a 1.60 whip. The curveball going to miss it down again, 84 miles per hour. The count is full to Torres. Blaber David Torres is only 23 years old, and he's got a full count on him now. Luke Voit walked back in the first inning, and that was pretty much the extent of the New York Yankees offense. Aaron Hicks lined out to left, Gio Urshela flew out to center, and Mike Ford rounded out to second in the bottom of the first. The full count, 99-mile-per-hour fastball. Blaber thought it was ball 4. The home plate umpire says otherwise, and it's a strikeout looking the first K of the ball game for Tyler. We got a comment in here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Yes, of course, if you guys are in here watching the stream, A, thank you for your support. But B, don't forget to drop a like down below, comment, let me know you're in the stream here, and subscribe if you haven't already. We are on the grind for 1,000 subscribers. We should hit that mark within the next few weeks and upcoming months, and I'm very excited. Again, thank you all for your continued support, not just here in the stream, but on the channel. Again, Glasnow going to dot his spot with a 99-mile-per-hour fastball. Gary Sanchez sees it in for a called strike one. He's appeared in 20 games for the New York Yankees, hitting .138 with 5 home runs, 9 RBIs, and a .638 OPS. A backdoor curveball outside, but again, a deemed strike by the home plate umpire. Gary Sanchez is like, okay, that is a strike. So Glasnow finds himself ahead in the count 0-2 here. And the delivery to the Yankees backstop. He will swing and a miss at a curveball down in the dirt. Back-to-back strikeouts for your Rays right-handed starter. And there are 2 away. That'll bring up Brett Gardner, the left-handed left fielder, the longest tenured active New York Yankees player currently on the team, and the only remaining player from the 2009 World Series squad on the team. Gardner, who has played in 17 games through 48 at-bats, is hitting .167 with 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, and a .689 OPS. Now, he's been pretty much on a year-to-year contract the past few winters with the New York Yankees. He's getting up there in age, but last year produced to a high extent, setting a single-season career high in home runs. He's going to see this one in for a strike on the outer third of the plate. It's going to be 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs to Brett Gardner. Now, Gardner's currently my favorite New York Yankees player, one of my favorite players in all of Major League Baseball. And the Yankees have a lot of outfield depth to their roster. They've been going back and forth with Aaron Judge being out on the 10-day IL. Again, he could be active as soon as Saturday. But with Aaron Judge out, we're seeing a lot of Aaron Hicks, Clint Frazier, Brett Gardner, Miguel Andujar has been in. He is not on the lineup today, but started in left field, I believe, last game. Mike Tauchman, also another guy we have been seeing a lot of time from. And this fastball is going to miss 98 miles per hour, but high. 3 balls and 1 strike to the left fielder. Frazier is on deck, hitting .409, has been off to a very hot start ever since being recalled and making his 2020 season debut. He was optioned to the alternate site fairly early into the season. Finally got an opportunity back at the big level, the MLB level, with no minor league baseball. This is his first real gameplay. This has been his first week and a half or so of baseball. And Brett Gardner will reach base via ball 4. So that's the second walk of the game for Tyler Glasnow in just as many innings. And Clint Frazier now will step in with 2 outs and a runner on first. In 22 at-bats, Frazier .409 as he fouls back a curveball. With 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, and a 1.277 OPS, he was a first-round draft pick by the Cleveland Indians, 5th overall, back in the 2013 amateur draft, and was acquired via a trade with New York. A 13.7 walk percentage from Tyler Glasnow as he checks up on Brett Gardner, who gets back to the first base safely. Now, Glasnow has 2 walks, 2 strikeouts in just as many innings. And he's ahead of the count 0-1 to the Yankees right fielder. Called strike at the knees is going to be 0-2 to Clint, who's really reestablished himself this year. Not just as a player, but as a person. He's matured. He showed Aaron Boone, the Yankees, and the fan base that he deserves to be here and that he wants to actively be seeing time. Brett Gardner takes off for second base, and he's going to be in there swiping second That's the first runner in scoring position for New York and his third stolen base of the season. The curveball gets in the dirt. Mike Zunino not with the greatest throw over to second, so Gardner gets in there fairly easily. A nice jump from number 11. And again, that is his third stolen base of the year. That leads the New York Yankees team. So number 11 standing on second base with 2 outs and a 1-2 count to Clint Frazier. Glasnow looks back at Gardner. His throw to Clint. Curveball in the dirt. Zunino flips back the mask, but keeps it in front of him. Gardy will stay at second, and the curveball's going to miss down. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on second for the New York Yankees. This is their first chance of maybe scoring a run and tying this ball game back up. Clint again, a 409 average coming into tonight's game. Glasnow looking for his first win of the season. Through 4 games, he's 0-1 and an ERA now just under 7.04. Frazier lifts a fastball to right field, 98 miles per hour, and it's going to be caught by Manny Margot. He makes a nice running catch, and that will end the inning. So a fly out to right will end the Yankees' bottom of the second. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left on base, Brett Gardner. So 2 walks, 2 strikeouts for Tyler Glasnow, but 2 scoreless innings as well, which is big, and he is back now with a 1-run lead from Tampa Bay. They look to further that lead here in the top of the third. Manny Margot, Mike Zunino on the top of the order. Austin Meadows are all 2 up. Margot is 5'11", 180-pound, 25-year-old right fielder for Tampa Bay. In 52 at-bats, he's hitting .288 with 3 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, and a .724 OPS. He'll be the leadoff batter in the away half of the third inning. Now, Zunino is a similar storyline to the Yankees backstop. Both catchers off to somewhat rough starts offensively. Now, Zunino, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, and a .091 average. Gary Sanchez, 5 home runs, 9 RBIs, with a 138 batting average through just about 23 games for New York. This season has definitely been a little bit different. Somewhat of a different feel, only being 60 games, and everything's a little more fast-paced. We're seeing a lot more double headers than usual. And a lot of guys in and out of ball games, the alternate site, there's currently being moves made, but it is a sprint, not a marathon like a usual 162-game season. And anyone is at risk of either doing really poorly or has the opportunity at the same time to have a really nice win streak and get them atop their division. The Tampa Bay Rays look to be one of those teams that end the 60 games leading the AL East, but the New York Yankees are going to try to stand in their way as much as possible. Though Tampa Bay has topped New York in, I believe, 4 out of the 5 games the two have faced off against. We'll see who the best competitor is come the postseason and the end of the 2020 regular season. So it's an 0-2 count now to the right-handed Manny Margot. He fouls this one back. 22 pitches for Garrett Cole. He's given up 1 hit and 1 run. That was the long ball from G-Man Choi back in the second. He'll spike this one in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. So again, it's going to be Manny Margot, Mike Zunino, and the leadoff batter, Austin Meadows, due up here in the third. Nice curveball, looks like maybe a knuckle curve. 81 miles per hour, belts high. Margot fouls it straight back. Counts and remain 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2. And Manny will lift this one into foul territory. Gio Urshela reaches in to the away dugout, falls over the rail, but makes the catch. What a play from Gio Urshela as the Rays players help lift him back up so he doesn't topple over the fence. But there you go, a really great play from Gio Urshela. We're going to watch this one back here. So Margot pops this one up. Gio Urshela runs over to the third base visiting dugout, reaches over, makes the catch, and almost topples over. Other Rays players are there to help him, and he gets back up. That's the first out of the inning. A pop out to third in foul territory, and a 97-mile-per-hour fastball will be strike one to the backstop, Mike Zunino. Gio Urshela really can do it all. He can hit well, plays a good third base defensively, and will occasionally make really great plays like the one we just saw. This one's going to miss high, 1 ball and 1 strike, 1 out. Now, Urshela might have regressed a little bit. He ended last year with a batting average above 300 at the moment. Going into tonight, he was currently sitting at 254. 97-mile-per-hour fastball. Adames checks his swing. Zunino checks his swing. Does he go around? Yes, he does, says the first base umpire. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Garrett Cole looking for his third punch out of the game. But instead, it will be sent out to center field. Back at the wall is Aaron Hicks. And it's gone out onto Monument Park. Mike Zunino with his third homer of the year. It is the second home run that Garrett Cole has allowed in his 2 1/3 innings pitched so far. So it's a solo shot from Mike Zunino to make it a 2-0 ball game. The Rays are celebrating. G-Man Choi very happy with that. So a solo shot from Choi in the second, Zunino in the third, has been the only 2 runs scored so far this ball game, both for the Tampa Bay Rays. The leadoff batter, Austin Meadows, steps in, and it's going to be called strike 1 here. Now, both Meadows and Glasnow were acquired in a trade with the Pittsburgh Pirates, where Tampa Bay sent over Chris Archer, and they have easily gotten the upper hand of that trade. Chris Archer has just not been the Archer we knew in a Tampa Bay Rays uniform ever since going out to Pittsburgh. Been a little bit of a disappointment out there in the National League. And if you're looking at Tampa Bay, you have Austin Meadows, who's doing very well and has produced to a great extent, and Tyler Glasnow, a really solid starter for the Rays, who already have a nice rotation, one of the best in the American League. 1-2 count now to Austin, and 9 of his last 11 runs allowed this season for Garrett Cole have all been via the long ball. And he definitely is a pitcher who gives up a very frequent home run. We've seen 2 already early on in this game. And the Yankees, who have been struggling to put up runs against this Tampa Bay organization without the first few games of the set, they really need to kind of limit the amount that they give up going forward. We haven't seen much of the bats just yet. Only 2 walks have resulted as the only 2 base runners for New York. And a 1-2 now to Austin Meadows. Checks his swing. The third base umpire says he does not go around. The count will advance and be tied at 2 apiece. Meadows, big wave and a miss and a curveball down in the dirt. And that'll be strikeout number 3 for Garrett Cole. So he gets Meadows swinging, and that'll be the second out of the third inning. Yandy Diaz will step in now. He's 0 for 1 today. He grounded out to shortstop back in the first inning. Made his Major League debut on April 3rd, 2017 with the Cleveland Indians franchise. He's the number 2 batter and third baseman for Tampa Bay tonight. Let's maybe keep this third inning going for the Rays offense, and the first pitch he sees will be a ball. 36 pitches for Garrett Cole. Plowed through a 1-2-3 inning back in the first, and in each of his last 2 innings, he's given up a solo home run. Now a changeup dots the spot perfectly in the bottom corner of the zone for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, and nobody on. A pitch down in the dirt, and maybe Garrett Cole's having a little bit of trouble locating early on in this game. We'll see. He's nearing 40 pitches through 2 2/3 innings of play. Behind in the count, 2-1 to Diaz. And Brendan Lau is on deck. Fastball knee high, and Diaz will take it for strike 2. So the count is even at 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 men retired here. The Rays have a 2-run lead in this 2-0 ball game. The payoff pitch, Diaz puts it in play, smokes it to Luke Voit, who throws it over to Garrett Cole, covers first, and that'll end the inning. So it's a 3-1 ground out. And the Rays, though they do go down fairly easily, they do not put up a fight. Mike Zunino, a solo home run, makes it a 2-run ball game now in Tampa Bay's favor, and we're going to head to the bottom of the third, where Thairo Estrada, Aaron Hicks, and Luke Voit will all get at-bats. Estrada seeing a lot of playing time now that DJ LeMahieu was hurt, and he suffered a similar finger injury back when he was with the Colorado Rockies, and in that time it took him an estimated 3 weeks to recover, 2-3 weeks. That's the same time frame they're giving him now for the exact same injury, and we hope to see DJ LeMahieu come back and perform to the same extent he was within the first 20 or so games that he played this year. Now, he was a big performer, had an average that kind of hovered around 400, and had a few home runs, a lot of RBIs, and he's just been one of the better, more consistent New York Yankees hitters in 2019 and 2020. So DJ LeMahieu was out. Giancarlo Stanton frustrated with his injury. Aaron Judge maybe could have been back already if the Yankees didn't place him on the 10-day IL, but he can be activated on Saturday against the New York Mets, and I'm assuming that probably will be when he sees his first game back. And that was, I believe, a lower body injury that he suffered in Tampa Bay, playing on the turf at Tropicana Fields. It was, I believe, the 2-game doubleheader. He played game 1 and did not get the start in game 2, and that was his first game being out with injury this year. Now, the Yankees kind of caught a break a little bit. If we looked at the roster that should have been active back in March when the season was supposed to started, you would have had Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge both out, as well as Aaron Hicks from Tommy John surgery. Because the season was delayed and pushed back a few months, all 3 outfielders were able to heal from the injuries that they were missing action from. And they were all able to play on opening day, which is big for New York, now suffering injuries. And it is unfortunate because the New York Yankees lineup is not really surprised with everything that's going on. We are very accumulated and accustomed to injuries. The Yankees last year had a lot of guys that stepped up in big situations, like Tauchman and Gio Urshela. If it wasn't for injuries, they might not have gotten playing time. And they did, and they performed very well. They were difference makers on the New York Yankees team, offensively and defensively. And they find themselves back in a starting spot for New York this year. Mike Tauchman, not as much because, again, a lot of outfield depth. But he is still a consistent starter. And Thairo Estrada, after working a 2-1 count, is going to fly out to center fielder Kevin Kiermaier. That'll be the first out of the bottom of the third. Yankees coming back? I sure hope so. Down 2-0 here. In the bottom of the third, Garrett Cole has surrendered 2 solo home runs, and that has made up the only runs that have been put on the board. Aaron Hicks steps in now for his second at-bat of the game. He lined out to left back in the first. He's now hitting .217 and batting left-handed with the righty Tyler Glasnow on the mound. Glasnow debuted on July 7th, 2016. His nickname is Baby Giraffe. He stands 6'8" tall, which is the same height as Aaron Judge. An enormous giant of a human being, but a very good flamethrower for the Tampa Bay Rays. And it's a 1-0 count to Hicks. He'll see strike one, counts even, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Aaron Hicks with 2 home runs and 7 RBIs to this point in the year. Another opportunity to bat leadoff for the Yankees, and he's going to offer and miss at an off-speed pitch. Counts going to be 1 ball and 2 strikes. On deck is Luke Voit, and we're going to talk about him. He has been very good at the plate. He's kind of made up for the lack of Aaron Judge not being in the lineup, and maybe even Giancarlo Stanton. 8 home runs and 17 ribbies for the Yankees to this point. Now, what we're seeing a lot in modern-day Major League Baseball with different franchises is some of the better batters hitting second in the lineup, and that is to get them more at-bats and just have them given more opportunities to change the score of the game. Aaron Judge got a lot of starts batting second when he was healthy in 2020, and we're seeing it in other cases as well. Maybe not so much with the Tampa Bay Rays, as they have Yandy Diaz in that 2 spot. But Hicks is going to swing and miss at a curveball. He'll go down swinging, and that is strikeout number 3 for Glasnow. Luke Voit has definitely been one of the better hitters for New York. Going into tonight, 67 at-bats, 284, 8 home runs, 17 RBIs, and 1.008 OPS. He hit leadoff in yesterday's game with a home run. And the score is 2-0 here in New York, losing by a pair of runs in the bottom of the third with 2 outs. Luke Voit steps in now. The first pitch he sees is going to be a changeup knee high for strike 1. Luke Voit, as I mentioned, has been one of the better batters for this Bronx team. And he's hitting 284. He walked back in the first inning, was the first base runner for the New York Yankees. And the only base runner since was Brett Gardner, who also got to first base via ball 4. He later stole second, but was stranded there in scoring position. The Yankees still looking for their first hit of the game, and a curveball going to miss high. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs to the Yankees first baseman. Gio Urshela would be on deck if Voit either gets on base or hits a home run. He fouls this one back. Glasnow consistently hitting 98, 99 miles per hour on his fastball. So the count's going to be even at 2 apiece with 2 outs, and the Rays up by 2. This is a big game for the Rays and Glasnow. If Tyler comes out and wins this ballgame, it would be his first W of the year. And 93-mile-per-hour pitch is going to miss up and away. The count is full once again to Luke Voit. So in his first at-bat, he actually went from down 2 strikes, no balls, to ball 4 and reached first base, as I mentioned just moments ago. Glasnow with a full count delivery. Luke Voit sends it out to right field. Back at the walls, Manny Margot looking up, and it's gone. Luke Voit, a solo home run. There you have it, the first run and the first hit for the New York Yankees. Home run number 9, RBI number 18 for New York's first baseman. A solo home run for Luke Voit. It is now a 1-run ball game. Just like that, the Yankees have their first hit and first run. Now, huge at-bat right there from Luke Voit. He stays in it, full count, fouls off a few pitches, and sees a fastball up and away, drives it to right field, and gets the Yankees on the board now. Glasnow nearing 50 pitches. Fastball 99 miles per hour is going to miss low to Gio Urshela, who flew out to center his first time around. But Voit has been spectacular at the dish, and he just continues that right now. Now, Gio Urshela, he's going to see a fastball. He'll send it to right center field. Kevin Kiermaier is there, and he will make the catch. So that'll end the inning. But the Yankees get their first run of the game, take one back from the Rays. 3 runs total in this game, and all on solo shots. Ji-Man Choi, Mike Zunino, and Luke Voit have gotten in on the action. We'll go to the top of the 4th with Brandon Lau Jose Martinez and G-Man Choi all due up. Tampa Bay has really put the Yankees in their place this year. Now, they don't have very many losses, New York. Their record currently sits at 16-7. The Rays beat them 4 of those 7 times. And against other teams in Major League Baseball, the Yankees have only lost 3 games. So Tampa Bay has easily been one of their biggest opponents and their toughest competitors. Going into the offseason, both of these teams are going to find a spot there in September. I believe September 29th is the first day of postseason play this year. The Rays and Yankees will both be there. It's just a matter of who will be there via the division title and who's going to be the second place team. It's a very close effort from both teams. New York Yankees had a very quick start to the season and were ahead early. The Rays actually struggled. I believe they found themselves 4th in the AL East at one point. But now they're back. They are 2nd in the division, a game and a half back of New York. If they win tonight, that puts them out just half of a game. So we'll see how things go for the Rays and the Yankees in this matchup. Now, Tampa Bay, of course, looks to go ahead and win Game 5 against New York. And it put them at the series win. If the Rays do lock up the W today, they'd be up 2-0 in the series, and tomorrow would be the getaway game for Tampa Bay. Game 3 and the final game of the set would be tomorrow night, Thursday evening, out in the Bronx. Now, Garrett Cole will face Brandon Lowe to lead off the top of the 4th. First pitch he sees, he defies the shift and is going to have himself a leadoff single. He had 3 infielders on the right side of the diamond and 1 on the left. Loud poked it right down the third baseline fair, but Brett Gardner cut it off pretty quickly and got the ball in. So it is a leadoff single for Brandon Lowe. And the Rays are already threatening to score more here in the away half of the 4th. Jose Martinez up now, and he previously grounded out to shortstop Blaber Torres. He's got a runner on first, and G-Man Choi is due up. He's going to take strike 1 here. Jose, 2 home runs and 7 RBIs with an average just under 231. The average specifically is at 226 as he's 0 for 1 in this ballgame, a 724 OPS. A runner on first, no outs, and Garrett Cole somewhat struggling. I wouldn't say struggling, but maybe just not locating as well as he probably could be here early in the game. He'll get a wave and miss from the cleanup batter. So he'll be ahead 0-2 now. Of course, trying to keep the ball low in the zone. Induce a double play or maybe a strikeout, then a double play. And I don't listen to very many games other than New York broadcasts, but I do like the booth that the New York Yankees have. David Cohen, Michael Kay, Paul O'Neill. I just think they are very intelligent, very knowledgeable, as they should be with the New York Yankees organization and the games that they call. But I do enjoy listening to them play-by-play in every New York Yankees game that I'm not streaming. It's going to be an 0-2 count here to Jose Martinez. And the payoff pitch, the fastball, clocks in at 98 miles an hour, but will miss high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, G-Man Choi is on deck. His first and only at-bat to this point came back in the second where he had a solo home run. It was the first hit of the game and the first run of the game. Not just for the Rays, but for both teams. We're here in the top of the 4th. The Rays have a 2-1 lead over New York. And a fastball just going to miss low. Gary Sanchez tries to frame it, but they do not get the call. So count's tied at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Garrett Cole, 45 pitches in, sports number 45. Chef G, as his nickname, is on MLB.com and MLB at-bat, serving up strikeouts. Now, Cole is 6'4" tall, 220 pounds, and a 29-year-old right-handed starter for the New York Yankees. Previously pitched with the Pirates, who drafted him, and the Houston Astros, This could be a double play ball. 6-4 and safe at first base is Yandy Diaz, but he dribbles it over to Blaber Torres, who flips it to Tyro Estrada. Estrada makes it over to Voit, but just not in time. So it'll be a fielder's choice. Brendan Lau is out advancing to second. But Jose Martinez will reach first base safely. So it is a 6-4 putout as the DH and cleanup batter for Tampa Bay now finds himself on first. Hello to everyone in the stream, in the comment section. Thank you for joining today. I appreciate it. I'm glad you were all able to stop by and tune in. Rays and Yankees. It's a 2-1 ball game. Tampa Bay currently winning. Runner on first and a big swing and miss from Ji-Man Choi, who has started to switch hit in 2019. It's worked out pretty well for him. His average is a little bit low. Going into tonight, he was hitting 169. He accumulated his second home run of the ball game, or of the season in this ball game, and his 8th RBI. Jose Martinez stands off of first, and there is one out. Another fastball he'll swing and miss at. Perfectly placed on the outside third of the plate from Garrett Cole. Fastball 98 miles an hour. And G-Man is down 0-2. It's a pretty high-paced and quick game at the moment. We're in the top of the fourth, just under an hour's worth of gameplay. And it's going to be the 0-2 delivery now to the switch-hitting Rays first baseman. Jose Martinez a few feet off first. This one in the dirt. Gary Sanchez keeps it in front of him. And it's going to be 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now, we know that Gary Sanchez might not necessarily be the best defensive catcher in the ballgame, but where he lacks defensive abilities, he does make up with it offensively. This year, his average is also struggling off to a slow start at the plate. And home run-wise, though, Gary Sanchez has produced recently 5 home runs and 9 RBIs. Still looking to get that average up as we're almost halfway done with the season. G-Man fouls back at 99 mile per hour fastball. It's out of play, and the count again will sit at 1-2. Cole has now reached 50 pitches in the ballgame, and the Yankees want a quality start out of him, hopefully 5-6 innings. And once he does come out of the game, assuming it is still close in score, the Yankees will go to their bullpen. Now, this is going to be a fun bullpen matchup. Once both starters are out of the game, and Tyler Glasnow and Garrett Cole, the Rays and Yankees both have very nice bullpen arms that they can use out of relief. And Garrett Cole blows this fastball by G-Man, 99 miles per hour. He's going to wave and miss. It's a strikeout swing, so that'll be 2 outs now and a runner on first. Willie Adames steps in for the Tampa Bay Rays. That is strikeout number 4 for Garrett Cole. And the shortstop will come up with a runner on first. Now, the 24-year-old shortstop is hitting 282, or was hitting 282 going into tonight. He struck out looking back in the second and is going to see a strike in the first pitch of his at-bat here. 98 miles per hour, slightly outside, but the umpire deems it good for a strike and gives the call to Garrett. So now hitting 278 with 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, and an 866 OPS. He's going to line this one into left field. Brett Gardner will cut it off on the 1-hop, and Jose Martinez will advance to second. So it is a 2-out single for Adames, and Jose Martinez finds himself in scoring position. That brings up the left-handed hitter Kevin Kiermaier, who also struck out back in the second. He went down swinging the bat. And Kiermaier debuted back on September 30th, 2013 with the Tampa Bay Rays, as I said. Has stuck with the organization ever since. And him and Evan Longoria were the core of the Rays team back in the early 2010s portion of the decade. He's over 1 tonight with a strikeout, looking for his first home run of 2020, but has brought in 9 runs to this point. This is game number 25 for the Rays. The first ball he sees is a curveball inside, strike 1. Again, Jose Martinez on second, Willie Adames at first after the 2-out single. And Kevin Kiermaier in, down in the count 0-1. The left-handed center fielder will see a ball now. The count's going to be 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, 2 men on base. If it gets that far, Manny Margot is on deck in the batting circle. Cole and Sanchez have agreed on a pitch, and number 45 is going to deliver to home plate. Curveball fouled back from Kiermaier, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now, there was something, I don't know if it was his last start or a few starts ago, but there was a video going around of Garrett Cole and his fingers getting stuck to the brim of his hat. Now, there's been a lot to say about it around the league and on social media. People are trying to kind of see what's going on here, if maybe there is a substance under the brim of the hat. Now, of course, I don't know. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 men on. Runners at first and second. Gary Sanchez calls time. And we'll try this again. Kevin Kiermaier, the left-handed center fielder, down in the count. Now, there has been a bit of a rivalry with the Braves and the Yankees recently. A lot of going back and forth. There was, I believe, the first series they played against each other. A lot of pitches up and in from Tampa Bay pitchers. And back in the Yankees off the plate, there's definitely some tension when we have matchups like this. And it's kind of been like that the past 2 years. They've really been the 2 dominant teams in the AL East. The Red Sox, of course, won the World Series a few years back, but ever since have not been very good. And the count is now full to Kiermaier. Martinez at second, Adames at first, Margot on deck, and Kiermaier at the plate with a full count and 2 outs. We'll see where the payoff pitch goes from Garrett Cole. Gary Sanchez setting up outside. Called strike 3. Kevin Kiermaier not happy. Going back to the plate, I'm probably like, what was that? Inside, down and in, off-speed pitch. Very nice execution from Garrett Cole. Sanchez does a good job framing it. Kiermaier actually flips the bat over to the dugout, thinking that's ball 4, but instead will go down looking. Strikeout number 5 for Cole. No runs scored. 2 men left on base. And that'll retire the top of the 4th inning. So we go to the home half of the 4th. Mike Ford, Blaber, Torres, Gary Sanchez will all be up. Now, Ford is the designated hitter, the lefty. Of course, playing matchups against Tyler Glasnow, a right-handed starting pitcher, finds himself in the lineup. And Ford's done fairly well to this point. He's had some big games, a few home runs and extra base hits. He's accumulated 10 RBIs and a pair of long balls to this point. Going into tonight, had a 667 OPS, was hitting 194 in 36 at-bats, and formerly attended Princeton College. So a Princeton graduate on the New York Yankees team. Not something you see every day out of a baseball player. But he will lead off the bottom of the 4th, batting 4th. He struck out, he grounded out to second his last time up. Blaber Torres struck out looking his first time around. Gary Sanchez struck out swinging. And those are going to be your 3 guys due up for the Yankees. Again, Ford, Torres, Sanchez, ground out to second. Strikeout looking, strikeout swinging. Tyler Glasnow, minus the solo home run from Luke Voit back in the bottom of the 3rd, he's looked really good. He's lowered the ERA quite a bit going into tonight. His earned run average sat around 7. And, of course, that's going to be a little bit different now in this ball game. Glasnow's ERA is officially down to 6.38, even after the solo shot to Luke Voit was given up. So Mike Ford steps in, and we're going to get the bottom of the 4th going here. First pitch Ford sees is a called strike, registering at 96 miles per hour. I do like the Yankees, and my favorite player currently on the team is Brett Gardner. Of course, love Aaron Judge too, but Gardner has been one of my favorite players on the team for quite some time, and I do root for him. He is my number one guy on the roster. Now, my favorite player not on the New York Yankees is Josh Donaldson, and my favorite pitcher in the game is Trevor Bauer. So, nice little assortment of names. It really hurt me seeing Josh Donaldson sign with the Twins this past winter. 4 years, I believe it was $92 million contract, but that stung. That did hurt me a bit just because I'm big fan of Donaldson, and I'm always cheering for him, but a big team that the New York Yankees face, and one of the better teams in the American League. Mike Ford checks his swing on a 1-2 count, but he cannot hold up. He goes around and will strike out swinging to get the bottom of the fourth underway. That is strikeout number 1, 2, 3, 4 for Glasnow. What's my opinion on the Rays? Well, if they weren't in the same division as the Yankees, I wouldn't mind them. But because the Yankees are my favorite team, of course, there is a bit of, there is something down there that I don't root for, If they do end up playing the Astros per se in the postseason, maybe at that point I do. But when they're playing the New York Yankees or in a regular season game where it's close in first and second, for the Yankees and Rays, I'm not typically going to root for Tampa Bay. But I played on a rec team growing up. I was actually on the Tampa Bay Rays. That was like my first bit of experience playing wise, so that was cool. And then from there on out, I was a Toronto Blue Jay. Hence why I like the Jays, and they are one of my favorite teams. But yeah, I don't dislike the Tampa Bay Rays, but of course I'm not rooting for them because that would be essentially rooting against New York. Blaber Torres is going to fly out to center fielder Kevin Kiermaier. 2 up, 2 down for Glasnow, and now Gary Sanchez steps up to the plate for his second at-bat. He struck out swinging in the second, and a curveball here will be strike 1. I do play MLB The Show, yep. I've been playing ever since. I believe I got the game in 2016. That's when I originally got my PlayStation. So I've played 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Now, Josh Donaldson was actually on the cover of MLB The Show 16. And Gary Sanchez falls behind in the count 0-2. 2 outs, nobody on base, and the Yankees do find themselves down 2-1. Here in the home half of the 4th inning. Glasnow doing very well, and I don't know what Sanchez is looking at. 98-mile-per-hour fastball right down the heart of the plate, gets him looking. 3 up, 3 down, and again, Glasnow will strike out Gary Sanchez. So it's a 1-2-3 inning there for the Yankees offense. We're going to go to the top of the 5th, where Manny Margot, Mike Zunino, and Austin Meadows will be due up. Did I ever make World Series in MLB The Show? I don't play online, so typically I play Diamond Dynasty, and I grind out like Conquest and Moments and all that. So I'll play the CPU on varying difficulties. But yeah, I only play Diamond Dynasty, and I don't play online. I have a few times, but usually it's just me against the computer. So Garrett Cole is going to head back to the mound for the New York Yankees. And, in the 5th inning here, he's given up 2 runs, both on home runs, and 9 of his 11 earned runs given up previously have all been via the long ball. So Margot, Zunino, and Meadows will all be up in the top of the 5th. Now, we're only about an hour and I'd say 10 minutes into the ballgame because we started a little before first pitch, but I'd say about an hour and 10 minutes in, already through 4 completed innings. This game is going by fairly quickly. And I don't know how many innings I'm going to stream. Probably about 6 or 7, I'd say, if we keep at this rate. No, I have not played that game. I actually don't know what that is. So right now, the New York Yankees have the #1 playoff spot and seed if the season were to end today. Now, the Rays are spot #4, a game and a half back of the Yankees. The Athletics and Twins are tied for that #2 spot, 2 and 3, both half game back of New York. The first pitch to Manny Margot is going to be a changeup down in the dirt, but he'll wave and miss, so it's going to be strike one. Garrett Cole has thrown 60 pitches through 4 completed innings. So what? Trying to do the math here. That's 15 pitches on average an inning. As we go to the top of the 5th, of course, trying to limit the amount of runs he gives out now. Moving forward, and Margot is 0 for 1. He popped up to Gio Urshela in foul territory his first time up. And it's going to be 0-2 as this one's fouled back and out of play. Now, Urshela, we have to go back to that play very quickly. Gio ran over to the visiting dugout, reached over into where the Rays players were sitting, made the catch, and almost toppled over. But what a play it was. And a big swing and a miss from an off-speed pitch here from Garrett Cole. So that'll retire Manny Margot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts for the Yankees ace in this ball game. That sounds pretty cool. I might have to check that game out. For sure. We have a lot of cool content coming up on the channel, guys. If you aren't subscribed, don't forget to drop a like down below, comment, and subscribe right, no matter whether you're subscribed or not. But we are on the chase for 1,000 subscribers, which is insane. I never thought I'd be saying that. So thank you all so much for your continued support. I like to try to say that as much as possible in these streams, just because I really would not be here without you guys. And I appreciate each and every one of you joining the stream today and just being active on the channel through regular uploads and other streams. Now, Mike Zunino finds himself in an 0-2 count. His first time around, he hit a solo home run, which initially gave the Rays a 2-run lead. It was his 3rd home run of the year and his 6th RBI. His average is now 111. He's going to foul this one back, and the count will remain at 0 balls and 2 strikes. Garrett Cole wearing number 45, reaching 70 pitches. He's at 65 currently. I think the New York Yankees would like to probably get at least 6 out of him, a nice quality start. Go 3 innings of bullpen work, and hopefully the Yankees do come back, maybe get a lead here, and if a save opportunity is available, we might see Aroldis Chapman make his 2nd appearance of the year. Another foul ball from the Rays catcher. No balls, 2 strikes. Austin Meadows will also get an at-bat, the leadoff batter for the Rays today. He's 0 for 2. He lined out to left to start the game on the first pitch, and then he struck out swinging back in the 3rd. Cole's 0-2 delivery. Fastball, up and in. Zunino fouls it back. It hits off someone. I can't tell if it was Gary Sanchez or the umpire. Might have been off the umpire. And he's going to kind of walk it off a little bit, fix his hat, take off the mask. Let's see this one again. So Zunino, fastball up and in on the hands. Yeah, fouls it right off the umpire's face mask. And it was going to remain 0-2. Zunino putting up a tough at-bat here against Cole. Protecting and staying alive, fouling up, I think, at least 3 pitches. And that one from Garrett's going to be down in the dirt, nowhere close, not nearly a competitive pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So 1 out here in the top of the 5th, and the Rays have a 1-run lead. Garrett Cole has pitched through 4 1/3 innings. And he's going to get Zunino to swing and miss at a changeup, down and away. Back-to-back strikeouts now from Cole on the inning. 7 punch-outs on the day. And we're going to turn the lineup card over for Austin Meadows and his 3rd at-bat of the game. Again, he lined out and struck out in his previous 2 at-bats. Cole at 69 pitches through 4 2/3 innings. When we go to the bottom half of the 5th, it'll be Gardner Frazier and Thairo Estrada. All up to hit. And the first pitch that Meadows sees is a fastball right down the middle, clocking in at 97 miles an hour. Austin now hitting .260 after being unsuccessful his first 2 times around with 3 home runs and 7 RBIs. He'll take a fastball down for 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 from number 45. Swung on, put into play, and at the wall, Clint Frazier cannot make the play. It'll be a 2-out double for Austin Meadows, and he collects his first hit of the ballgame. So the Rays threatening now, making a statement with 2 outs. They have a runner in scoring position on second. Garrett Cole seems to be frustrated there. Off-speed pitch kind of hangs, but Austin Meadows gets down to it. It ricochets off the right field wall, and Clint Frazier gets it in time to limit Meadows to only 2 bases on the hit. So now Yandy Diaz steps in, and he's 0 for 2. In the first inning, he grounded out to short. In the second at-bat of his, back in the third, he grounded out to first base. Luke Voigt flipped it over to Garrett Cole, and they got the third out of the inning that way. Now Yandy Diaz with a runner in scoring position, 2 outs. Here we are. The first pitch of the at-bat is 88 miles per hour on the outer third for called strike 1. Yeah, school is definitely going to be rough. Virtual learning isn't necessarily the best. I prefer going in, of course, and at the moment it looks like many places are starting school up virtually, so good luck to everyone out there who is going through that. I know I will be virtual for at least the first few months of school, at least from what we've been told so far. But Yandy Diaz is down in the count 0-2 with 2 outs, and Meadows leading off second. Brandon Lau is on deck and due up. The 0-2 fastball up. Gary Sanchez jumps to make the catch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I'm going into my junior year of high school, so kind of nearing the end of my high school years and getting ready for college. In just a little bit, I'll be taking assuming I'm going to be taking my SATs this year. And I'll be really looking at colleges and trying to find out where I want to go and major in broadcasting and journalism. And a swing and a miss from Yandy Diaz on a fastball outside. That'll end the inning. So Garrett Cole gets his 3 outs all via strikeouts. 2 swinging, 1 K looking in the scorebook. Austin Meadows in between gets a double, but he's stranded at second base. We're going to the bottom of 5th, and the score is still going to remain 2-1. Now the Yankees want to do something about that. It's going to be Gardner, Frazier, and Estrada all up. Left fielder, right fielder, and second baseman tonight for New York. So there hasn't been a whole lot of commotion offensively with bats for New York. A few walks and one of the only hits. Let me just make sure here. The only hit for New York was a solo home run for Luke Voigt, and that's their only run on the board at the moment. So again, the bottom third of the lineup is due up. Gardner, Frazier, Estrada, Tyler Glasnow will go out for his 5th inning of work. And I think now's a good time for us to go ahead and check back at scores around the league. So, of course, we know that the Rays are leading the Yankees 2-1. The Mets have a 1-run lead over the Marlins in the top of the 5th. The score is 1-0. The Cubs lead the Cardinals 4-2 through 6.5 innings. The Reds and Royals are scoreless through 1.5 innings of play. The Indians and Pirates are scoreless through 4.5 innings of play. The Tigers and White Sox don't have a score yet either. Brewers and Twins 0-0 in the top of the 2nd. And that is all at the moment. So we're seeing DJ LeMahieu on the field. Some clips here from before the game. He was doing some workouts and getting some reps in, fielding and making throws. So hopefully DJ comes back within the time frame originally given, about 2 to 3 weeks. Of course, The Yankees do miss the bat and just presence of DJ LeMahieu in the lineup. So Brett Gardner's going to come in here now and lead things off. He walked back in his first at-bat, later stole second base, but was stranded there. Still maintaining a 167 average as he's technically 0 for 0 in the scorebooks. The 0-1 to Gardner. It's a 97-mile-per-hour fastball. Just misses the corner up and away. So 1 ball, 1 strike now. And I'm curious to all guys in the stream, do you participate in fantasy baseball? I run a few leagues, or I run a league in Yahoo, and I've run one for the past few seasons. I enjoy fantasy baseball, drafting and kind of maneuvering through different lineups, picking up guys, dropping guys as they're doing well or not so well throughout the season. I think it's fun. It's an interactive way to kind of stay up to date with players all over and teams all over. It's going to be a 1-2 fastball, 98 miles per hour down and in. Gardner does not like the call, but he will be retired. Struck out looking for number 11 here to get the bottom of the 5th going. And good pitch from Glasnow. Gardner doesn't offer at it, and it is a called strike. He didn't look thrilled that he was running up on it, but, I mean, it is what it is. Good pitch from Tyler Glasnow, who has kind of plowed through the Yankees lineup almost to say. Only giving up 1 hit. It was a solo homer. Not bad. 2 walks, and now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts. Glasnow was born on August 23rd, 1993. So his birthday is just a few days away. He will be turning 27 years old. Clint Frazier's got a 1-1 count with 1 out. And Frazier flew out to right field his first time up back in the 2nd inning. Now hitting .391 with a pair of home runs and 8 RBIs. 2-1, that's going to be a ball in the dirt. Now, an interesting statistic here with the demographic on screen. He throws his four-seam fastball 64.4% of the time, Tyler Glasnow. His average velo on that fastball is 97 as he hits it here, and Frazier checks his swing and fouls it back. Glasnow, a flamethrower. Again, a tall baseball player as well. 6 foot 8 inches. Same height as Aaron Judge. Snell, Morton, and Glasnow make up the top 3 men in the Rays rotation from one of the best in the American League. Frazier lines went out to center field, but Kevin Kiermaier is going to be there, so an L8 in the scorebooks, and he is 0 for 2 on the day as well. Well, that'll bring up Thairo Estrada, the number 9 batter, starting at second base today because he's filling that DJ LeMahieu void. Now, Thairo coming into today had 9 at-bats, hitting .444 with 1 home run, 2 RBIs, and 1.22 OPS. He flew out to center his first round back in the bottom of the 3rd and has yet to get anything going here other than that. His average is now down to 400 and the OPS at 1.100. The 0-1, he swings and misses at a 97-mile-per-hour fastball belt high. He's below in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Glasnow, 69 pitches through 4 2/3 innings. Really doing well against this Yankees lineup. They can't seem to hit him, minus Luke Voit. And the 0-2, Estrada fouls this one back and out of play. Now, Thairo was signed by the New York Yankees at 16 years old, I believe, back in 2013, I want to say. And he has done a little bit of work here and there for New York. He's filled in, but not significant playing time just yet. He's going to wave and miss at an off speed out of the zone, and that'll be a strikeout swing. So Glasnow, a 1-2-3 inning, works through the bottom 3rd of the Yankees lineup. And Yankees, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors so far to this point. Not looking too good offensively against Glasnow. So I'd assume we go back to the top of the 6th with Garrett Cole on the mound. He made his debut in Major League Baseball on June 11th, 2013 with the Pittsburgh Pirates, who drafted him first round, first overall pick in 2011. So just 2 years before he made his debut. Cole's birthday is September 8th, 1990, and he's currently 29 years old. Goes by Chef G, and going into the season signed a 9-year, $324 million contract. So we're going to stream probably another inning or two here. We'll see, maybe through the 7th, and then we'll call it a day. Depending on the score, depending on how the game is moving. And maybe earlier, maybe later, we'll see. A lot of cool stuff coming up on the channel, guys. Have some cool videos coming out. I'm really excited with a few things. Looking forward to some of the next few uploads, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy them. So, of course, we will be streaming as much as I can throughout the remainder of the summer, the regular season, and the postseason. I never have a set schedule for when I go live, just kind of if I'm available or if I'm up to streaming, I'm just going to turn on the computer and kind of get everything going and get a live coverage stream going for you guys. So it's never usually scheduled. Sometimes I'll have an idea whether or not I will go live or not. But the best way for you guys to know is by turning on your notifications for YouTube, for my channel. So you guys are notified not only anytime I go live, but also anytime I upload a video. And we're going to head to the top of the 6th inning here. Brandon Lau, Jose Martinez, and G-Man Choi are all due up. That is the heart of the Tampa Bay Rays order, the 3, 4, 5 batters. Now, Brandon Lau is 1 for 2. He singled back in the 4th and grounded out in the 1st inning. He's going to take a fastball down in the zone for ball 1. I actually just picked up Brandon Lau for my fantasy team yesterday. He's been doing very well at 341 average, 8 home runs, 23 RBIs. Been one of the best hitters for the Rays this season. And he'll foul this one back. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Garrett Cole at just about 80 pitches. So I'd say maybe the 6th inning is his last inning on the mound. The same might potentially be said about Tyler Glasnow, but we'll see. The 1-1 delivery and fouled back again. Fastball 96. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now, Brandon is a super utility player. Can play the infield and pretty much all outfield spots as well. Gives the Rays a lot of depth and a lot of different options when it comes to crafting their lineup where they can put him. Fastball just a little above the bell, but fouled back again, 97 miles per hour. The count's going to remain 1-2. So we're going to take you through the standings in Major League Baseball for the American League East in just a moment here. Lau checks the swing. Does he hold up? Yes, he does as the third base umpire. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Your New York Yankees currently at first with a 16-7 record. That's a .696 win percentage and a game and a half ahead of the Tampa Bay Rays. Tampa Bay is 15-9. The Orioles are 12-12, a .500 win percentage, 4.5 back for first. And if the season were to end today, they would have a playoff spot. Now, the Blue Jays are 10-11, a .476 win percentage, 5 games back of the Yankees, a half game back of the Orioles for third place in the division. And the Red Sox are 7-18, a .280 win percentage, 10 games back of the Yankees out of this year, really. I like to say it's anyone's game. It's a race. It's a sprint, not a marathon. But, I mean, the Red Sox have not been good. One of the worst teams in Major League Baseball, let alone the American League division, the American League East division. 2-2 now, again. Lau putting up a good at-bat, fouling off a lot of pitches. He's going to check his swing, change up 85 miles per hour. He does not go around. The count is now full. On deck is Jose Martinez, who's 0 for 2. He grounded out to shortstop in the second, and then a fielder's choice again ground out to short. They were not able to turn the double play, so he reached first via the fielder's choice. Lau puts this one in play. Over to Luke Voit, who flips it to Garrett Cole, who's covering the bag in time. That is the first out of the inning for the Rays hitters. And now Jose Martinez will step in to hit. Martinez 0 for 2, now hitting .222 with 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, and a .711 OPS. Batting fourth and the designated hitter tonight for Tampa. The first pitch he sees, he fouls back, strike one. So 0-1 to the cleanup bat. And this is the heart of the order for Garrett Cole. So if he can get out of this here, he might be able to turn things over to the bullpen in the 7th, facing the bottom guys in the Rays lineup this evening. Check swing, ball in the dirt. Does he go around? The first base umpire says no. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Garrett Cole definitely struggling a little bit now, approaching 90 pitches. He's sitting at 87. And I think he'd probably get out of this inning and then not return back to the mound in the top half of the 7th. But that would just be my opinion there. So 1-1 to Jose Martinez. Checks his swing again. Gary Sanchez points down to the first base umpire, but he again says he does not go around. 2-1. That'll miss outside. A very close ball game. The count is 2-1. The score is 2-1 here in the top of the 6th. About an hour and a half's worth of game time so far. Sun's going by fairly quickly. And again, he's going to ground it over to shortstop. Blaber Torres will make the throw in time. And it's a 6-3 putout. G-Man Choi will step up. He is 1 for 2 with the solo home run in the 2nd and a strikeout swinging in the 4th. Luke Voit has the only run and hit for the New York Yankees so far this game. That is his, let me see here, 4th home run in just 3 games. He's on fire for New York, and he will come up again in the bottom of the 6th. So Garrett Cole kind of taking his time to get on the mound here as he faces G-Man Choi. 2 outs in the top of the 6th, 89 pitches in. Giving up 2 runs, both via solo shots. And a 96 mile/hour fastball outside, deemed a strike by the umpire. G-Man now hitting 179 after slugging his 2nd homer of the year and his 8th RBI. A 631 OPS, he calls time. Assuming G-Man Choi gets on base, Willie Adames will come up next. The 0-1, and it's going to miss down, 1-1. Fastball just high. G-Man thinks about it, but checks his swing. 2 balls, 1 strike. Now, this is definitely what you would classify as a pitching duel. Glasnow and Garrett Cole on the mound have both been doing very well. Minus a few mistake pitches from both sides. It's a 1-run ball game, and G-Man Choi is going to wave and miss at this one. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Again, Willie Adames due up next. Assuming G-Man gets on base. Garrett Cole, 93 pitches into his start. This is his 6th start of the year. Fastball misses up and away, full count. 2 outs to the Rays. First baseman. Adames is 1 for 2. He singled his last inning, which is back in the fourth, and his first time around, he struck out looking in the top of the second. The full count payoff pitch. Cole and Gary agree. Runs way inside, 98 miles per hour. Ji-Man Choi will walk. Adames, the 24-year-old shortstop. And we're seeing replays from other games at the moment on Yes. So 2 outs. Ji-Man Choi standing on first. He reached via ball 4 for the Rays shortstop. I was getting ready to say Greinke, but Garrett looking to get out of the inning here. First pitch is a called strike. 96 pitches, so he is definitely done after this 6th frame. Adames now hitting 288. He has 2 home runs and 7 RBIs. Changeup going to miss down and away. Ball 1. So now Garrett Cole, I believe, has won his last 20 starts that was worth a decision. So he has not lost the game in over 20 starts, which I believe is tied for 3rd in Major League Baseball history. If he comes out of the game here in the 6th, it'll be 2-1. The Rays are up. Now, if the Yankees come back and win, that would be great. Will he be granted the win? We'll have to see, just depending on how other relievers do. But at the moment, I think he's probably going to end or leave the game with the Yankees down a run or 2. Hopefully not 2, but down at least 1 run. The 1-2 to Willy Adames. Swing and a miss. Got him. Good off-speed pitch. And that will probably do it for, I was going to say Zach Greinke again, for Garrett Cole's evening. He racks up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 strikeouts in 6 innings of work. Gives up a few hits, a few walks, put 2 solo home runs, and that is going to be the difference maker, as it is currently a 2-1 ball game going to the home half of the 6th. So the New York Yankees are going to hit now, and it's going to be the top of the order. Aaron Hicks, Luke Voit, Gio Urshela. Hicks is 0 for 2. He lined out to left and struck out swinging. Voit is 1 for 1 with a walk back in the first and a solo home run in the third. Still the only hit of the ball game for the New York Yankees to this point. And then Gio Urshela has flown out to center field both times around. So your 1, 2, 3 batters are all going to be up for New York. Mike Ford batting fourth, a designated hitter. May see an at-bat as well. And it looks like Tyler Glasnow will come in to pitch his bottom half of the 6th. It's been a quick game, a close game, and a pitching duel. Cole and Tyler Glasnow have both been doing very well. The solo home run, the long ball has been the deciding factor here. Without any homers, this game would be scoreless. Glasnow warming up, getting ready. And Hicksy, as he is nicknamed, leads it off. Now, Aaron Hicks was born October 2nd, 1989. He's 30 years old. And I believe this is his 2nd or 3rd year in his 7-year contract extension that he signed with the New York Yankees a few years back. Might be his first. I don't know. I don't remember when the contract was signed. Let me see here. I'm trying to think, just a brain fart here. I can't remember. So Hicks is going to step up to the plate, 0 for 2, now batting .213. He came in tonight batting .220. First pitch he sees is a fastball way outside, ball 1. So Aaron Hicks signed his contract extension, I think, 2019. So this is his second season in the 2019 season and the 2020 season. Now, he had Tommy John surgery, underwent the procedure this offseason as he rips one down the line. It's going to be fair. Roll all the way out to the wall. Manny Margot cannot get there. Takes a nice little bounce. Aaron Hicks going to third, and he's going to get in there. So it's a leadoff triple for Hicksy. I was just getting ready to say the performance has been back and forth with him this season, but a nice leadoff extra base hit. And that'll put the Yankees in a good position to maybe get that second run in of the ball game. Great hit, takes a couple of friendly bounces for New York, which will allow Hicks to get all the way to third. But yes, I believe Aaron's contract extension was signed in 2019, so all of 2019, all of 2020 went underway with the Tommy John route this past offseason, but because the season was delayed, he did not miss any playing time. He was able to bounce right back in. He was ready for opening day, and I believe he's the first player to do so in baseball history. So now one of the hotter New York Yankees batters come up with a runner just 90 feet away. That is the tying run. Luke Voit takes a curveball in the dirt for ball one. Now, Voit is hitting .294 with 9 home runs and 18 RBIs, an OPS at 1.074. 1 for 1 today with a solo shot. And he's also walked. Fastball down and in, 97 miles an hour. Strike one. So this is a big opportunity here for the New York Yankees. Can tie this game up or take the lead for the first time this evening. Curveball, he thinks about it, but does not go around. Counts 2-1. On deck is going to be Gio Urshela, who has not been successful in either of his first 2 appearances. Aaron Loup and Ryan Thompson, both warming up in the bullpen. Loup the lefty, Ryan the righty, and the infield is playing in on the grass. Ji-Man Choi, the only infielder on the right side of the diamond. And a fastball inside, kind of up and in, and it's a called strike. Luke Voigt's like, where was that? To the home umpire. He kind of backs out of the way. Two balls, 2 strikes, no outs, runner on third for Luke Voit. See if he gets something to hit here. Curveball. He puts it in play, but foul. Counts and remain 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Glasnow now at 78 pitches. So Voit is currently at the plate. Gio Urshela on deck. Mike Ford may get an opportunity here in the bottom of the 6th. So this is huge here for the New York Yankees to get at least 1 run in and tie it up. Give them a chance at maybe winning this ball game. And a curveball in the dirt, so it's full count to the Yankees first baseman. Urshela's 0 for 2. And he will hit next. So Voit a full count. Glasnow pitching. And a runner 90 feet away. The tying run 90 feet away. The pitch. Off speed. Misses down and in. That is ball 4. So Luke Voit draws his second walk of the game. He is still just 1 for 1 with a solo home run. And now Gio Urshela will step in. So Gio has regressed in a slight sense where his average is not as high as it's been, or as it was in 2019. Coming into today was hitting .254, is 0 for 2 now, but has 4 home runs, 15 RBIs, and 1 stolen base. Now Pete Fairbanks and Ryan Thompson are the guys in the bullpen, both righties. I guess as the Rays are trying to play matchups here. The first pitch to Gio is going to miss up and away, fast 197 miles an hour. So Glasnow may be starting to get a little wild here, not having as much command with his pitches as he's had in previous innings. Urshela's average is down to .247, and his OPS is at 799. Fastball going to miss up again, this one at 96, so it's 2 balls and no strikes. The Yankees are definitely threatening here. Runners at the corners, no outs. Zunino's going to call time and go up to his pitcher here. Kind of calm him down a little bit. Give up a leadoff triple. And then a walk, and now is falling behind in the count 2-0. So a 2-0 count to the Yankees third baseman batting third today. Again, the score is 2-1. Tampa Bay is up in the bottom of the sixth, but runners at the corners for the New York Yankees, definitely making an effort here to get some runs in. Gio Urshela takes a fastball into right field. Is it deep enough to score, Aaron Hicks? It will be. So it's a sac fly for Gio Urshela. And it's a 2-2 ball game. So Gio with a fly out to right, but Hicks comes around to score. It'll be 1 out, and Luke Voit on first for Mike Ford. Hicks tags up on the play, and Manny Margot cannot get the throw to Zunino in time or accurately enough for it to be an out. That'll bring up the Princeton graduate, Mike Ford, who has done pretty well at the plate for the Yankees. The average is a little low, but 2 home runs and 10 RBIs to this point. Ford is 0 for 2 today. He's going to take a fastball. He foul tips it for strike 1. So Ford grounded out to second in the first and struck out swinging in the fourth. His average down to 184. He's OPS at 633. Major League Backyard Baseball, what's up? How you doing? Thanks for joining the stream here. This game is tied. The Rays and Yankees both have scored 2 runs. Luke Voit standing off of first with 1 out and Mike Ford up in a 1-1 count. Ford is the designated hitter, batting cleanup for the New York Yankees, and all about matchups, getting him more game time, facing the right-handed Tyler Glasnow. Baby Giraffe as his nickname. I think that's a great nickname. Glasnow stands at 6 foot 8 inches, a very tall major leaguer. Again, the same height as Aaron Judge. Thank you so much, Major League Backyard Baseball. I appreciate it. 97-mile-per-hour fastball on the outer third of the plate, but it's going to be called strike, and Mike Ford finds himself in a 2-2 count. So the Yankees threatened early on. Aaron Hicks leadoff triple. He just scored on a sac fly. Luke Voit worked a walk, and there's 1 out. Now to the lefty first baseman and designated hitter. Curveball got him looking, strike 3. It was slightly inside. The call could have gone either way, but the home plate umpire grants it in favor of Glasnow, the Rays pitcher, and that might end it tonight for him. 88 pitches. Glasnow's night is over. The Yankees have scored 2 runs on 2 hits. The Rays 2 runs on 5 hits. We're going to continue the bottom of the 6th after this commercial break. And that may be the end of the stream for me once this inning comes to a conclusion. We'll see. We've been live for almost 2 hours, which is crazy. Time always flies by when I'm streaming, when you guys are here in the comment section. It's crazy. Just, you know, it goes by like that. And these games are so much more enjoyable to watch when I'm calling them and going live with you all. So we're going to see a reliever for the Tampa Bay Rays come in. There will be 2 outs. Luke Voit on first. Blaber Torres will be the first batter that we see. Trying to continue the inning. Maybe get the Yankees the lead for the first time in this ballgame. Lots of commercials here. I'm currently watching the game on Yes Network. And let's take a look, see if there's any score updates around Major League Baseball. The Yankees and Rays, of course, are tied at 2 runs apiece. The Reds lead the Royals 3-0. The Indians lead the Pirates 3-0. The White Sox are ahead of the Tigers by a score of 1-0. Brewers and Twins in the top of the 3rd. It's a 2-1 ball game. Milwaukee is ahead. Astros and Rockies are scoreless, and the other games are yet to start. So Ryan Thompson's going to come in now. He has a 3.86 ERA. He will relieve Tyler Glasnow, who threw 88 pitches, striking out 8 batters, walking 3, giving up 2 hits, 2 runs through 5 2/3 innings. So Ryan Thompson has played in 9 games this year, starting 1 of them, has a 1-1 win-loss record, a 3.86 ERA in 11 2/3 innings, giving up 12 hits, 5 walks, 6 strikeouts, and surrounding a .255 opponent batting average. So again, Luke Voit will stand up on first, then Blaber Torres will be the first batter he faces, and he's going to loop a single in to center field. So the first pitch from Thompson is going to result in a single. That will bring Luke Voit over to second base, and now Gary Sanchez with the big opportunity. 2 men on, 2 out. Tyler Glasnow is responsible for Luke Voit if that run does come across and score. Sanchez 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, struck out swinging and looking back in the 2nd and 4th inning, respectively. This game is tied. It's a pitching duel. It's very close. Here in the bottom of the 6th, again, Tampa Bay 2, New York 2, 2 outs. The Yankees have 2 men on. And Gary has 2 strikeouts. So 2's pretty much everywhere at the moment. Pitch number 2 from Thompson is going to be a strike. He's got somewhat of a funky delivery here, kind of almost sidearms it a little bit in his delivery to home plate. And Gary Sanchez is down in the count 0-1. He's going to chop this one back up to the pitcher. And Thompson will make the play. So it is going to be a 1-3 putout. The Yankees, however, score a run on 2 hits. 2 men left on base, and this game is tied 2 runs apiece. That is going to be it for this stream, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to drop a like down below, comment, and subscribe. I would not be here without each and every one of you guys. I cannot thank you enough for your support, but thank you all for your support. That is going to be it, guys. If you enjoyed, again, don't forget to drop a like down below, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you all next time. Go Yankees. Peace.